Well, a pretty decent day today. Not as It didn't turn out as nice as I thought it was. We did have a little bit of cloud buildup and a little bit of smoke as well. I did go to the Pine Barrens today, and you could see that there was some haze in the sky, some blue sky, but not a really deep blue sky. Definitely a little bit of haze, and the lakes are kind of running low again. You could definitely see the haze in the sky, and it was even more noticeable as we got toward later in the evening. You could see there, and especially here, that it did look kind of hazy. We had that cumulus buildup as well. That was definitely more than the models were showing today. So, but yeah, one hell of a storm last night. I'm just going to recap over the showing you some of the damage first of all. Very hard to find images of the damage, believe it or not. But here you go. Here's from News 12. You can see that's a transmission line actually that got knocked down. You can see the wires are all on the ground. A tree kind of came down on that, and they've got 5,500 customers without power right now. But again, really very little coverage of this storm from a lot of the media. Even News 12 New Jersey did not cover it very well. And some of the stations, again, Channel 7 did cover it, but they don't have anything on the website about it. So why bother having a website if you don't update it? Just don't have a website then, But you see some pictures of it here. This is, again, what it looked like on the radar. You can see some of the damage here, trees on houses. A lot of storm damage. Hey, look at that. Wow. Fallen tree in Lakewood right into a bus shelter, too. So you can see what they have. But again, not a whole lot of images here. News 12 has no images. Nothing at all. 55. Actually, it's now down to 38,000 customers without power now. So they are making progress with the power outages, and that's some good news. So we started off with sunshine, a little bit of a cloud buildup, and a little bit of haze. Not as thick, but it definitely was some haze in the air today. You can really see it as we get toward the end of of the satellite loop. You can definitely see the haze. That is, I'm not sure where that's coming from, but you can see maybe it's a little less over there. I mean, it wasn't thick, but it was enough of it to affect the sky. It did not turn out. The sky did not turn out as nice as I was hoping it would be. It seemed like we had bluer skies yesterday, even though it was humid. You can see this is the largest satellite image right here. And I think there are fires out exploding out west now. So you can see what's going on here. And we're going to have a ridge, so that smoke could wind up going up over the ridge. And we could be dealing with wildfire smoke again, though not from Canada, from the west. So let's go to the... I guess that would be the Southern Rockies, right? Oh, yeah. Listen, there's some really big wildfires burning in, I think this is Utah. Oh, this is Utah. This is Arizona. That's Utah. So it looks like we have a pretty big wildfire going in Utah right now. Look at all that smoke there coming from that. Looking at Canada. I don't see anything too big going on in Canada right now. But it seems like the action for the fires is now shifting to the southwest. And I'm not sure about Alaska. I didn't even look at Alaska. I don't see any. Yeah, there are some fire. Looks like there are some fires. Looks like well into the Northwest Territories. So, yeah, we're going to be dealing with that. So let's go over today's weather. First of all, you see what we've got going on. There's all these heat advisories. We've got some severe weather in North Dakota, but you'll notice we've got excessive heat watches now in effect for our area. This is western Suffolk, Nassau, New Jersey. It's been a while since we've seen that. We'll go and look at the current observations, and then we'll talk about the heat that we're going to be dealing with. And it's still pretty warm out there, 79 at Farmingdale, so it's just about the same temperature as it is in my alley. And the dew point's gone up too as well, up to 61. We've had a west wind. It's like a west-southwest wind for much of the day. And it was a warm wind, got us into the 80s. Little dew points in the 50s. Didn't feel too bad, but it was still kind of warm. We did have some breezy conditions. Wind gusts up to 29 miles an hour. Trying to get through my allergies. Ooh, got a bad post-nasal drip. I'll try to get through it. You can see there were some clouds at times. It was clear earlier. We definitely had breezy conditions with some wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour today. I'm guessing we don't have a summary of the storm reports here. And no summary there either. All right, well. One other thing I want to show you with the storms. This was from yesterday. I just want to show you. This was the first thunderstorm that moved into New York City. That one that hit around 5 o'clock. And you can see this is a wall cloud right here. And you can see definitely the kind of stuff you'd see when you could see tornado formation over here. So there was no tornado warning for the storm, but it definitely was capable of producing a tornado. That's for sure. This is it coming into New York Harbor. Really amazing to look at this. And this is the same storm coming into Long Island City. Look at that. Just a wall of rain right there coming in. And then this storm here, this is the second storm that was coming in over Coney Island. And you can look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It was interesting how the shelf cloud kind of just developed like that. Really interesting. Look at that green color too. You can find it. That was the second storm. There's the rain. But pretty cool. When I played, you could see some of the lightning too as well. There's some flashes of lightning in there too behind that. Very ominous looking. Very ominous looking. And then now watch what happens in Atlantic Highlands. I'm going to play this too. We're just recapping some of what happened yesterday. See how the wind just slowly starts, and it'll slowly start gusting. And so you're going to see the wind just pick up like that. You're going to see the rain move in. You can see it's going to come from the left side here. Here it comes. These gusts here that you saw are probably like 70 to 80 miles an hour. Look at that. You can see where there are so many power outages in this area. Those are very strong winds. Looks like there might be some hail here too as well. This again, the second storm, the one that came through around 7 o'clock yesterday. So very active day. Look at that. Go again. I'm amazed the power didn't go out here. We were able to watch this. Look at that. Yeah, those are easily over 60 mile an hour wind gusts right there. Easily. I mean, that's a metal flagpole. Look at how it's just being tossed around like that. Very impressive. So I did want to show you that because that was really interesting. And again, the storms yesterday were very remarkable. Media really... Only one station really covered it properly. It was Channel 4. I mean, all the other stations, like, enough with the politics already. We have severe weather. Politics, put them aside right now. But, you know, the media, especially in New York. Now, if you're watching WPVI, they covered it pretty good. But in New York, it's all about what a certain group of people want to see. So just put it that way. So anyway, you see the excessive heat watch that is over our area. And we'll go over our highs for a moment as well. But let's go over the excessive heat watch here. That is for New Jersey, and that is heat index values up to 105 possible. This is going to be Sunday Sunday afternoon through Tuesday evening in New Jersey. Let's see, and that watch, this is, I guess Long Island is in there. I don't see it. Where's NASA? I don't see that one. Sunday afternoon through I'm sure the times are the same. Sunday afternoon through Tuesday evening. Heat indexes of up to 106 possible. So, yeah, this is what we're dealing with here, and this could be significant heat. Now, looking at today's climate statistics, we had a high of 85 at Islip and a low of 69. That high of 6 degrees above normal for today, so it was warmer than normal, but with dew points in the 50s for most of the day. It didn't feel too uncomfortable, but it did feel kind of hot, especially if you're in the middle of the day, for sure. Looking at the MODIS satellite, let's see if we can. We're missing some on this. Okay, so this is what it was like this morning. It was clear, but then the clouds kind of developed here. And again, we had a little bit of that haze around too. We'll go to our smoke tracker. We'll take a look at that as well. Don't have the 0Z in, but we can look at the 18Z. So you can see there was a little bit of thin smoke. Nothing too thick, but you can see we could be getting into this eventually. So we'll have to see how this is going to affect the area. But I'll keep an eye on that and see if it becomes an issue or not. I don't think we have any surface air quality issues. I'll go to AQI. Yeah, it's all. I'll go to the purple air map, but I think we're all good here. It was mainly haze aloft. Let's see what we got here. Well, there's some impact to the surface air quality. I mean, it's not a pristine air mass. Like I said, there is some haze, and that's why we're dealing with that. So, anyway, let's get that out of the way. Let's talk about the weather. Oh, well, actually, I closed that. I still have the map up. Good. All right, I just want to show the highs over the area. So, high temperatures got in the mid-80s pretty much everywhere. Uniform because of the west wind. No sea breeze. And then the low temperatures this morning we got upper 60. So not that cool, and it's still very warm out there. So probably not going to be that cool tonight either. So let's go to the models here and talk about the weekend and talk a little bit about next week's heat wave. So anyway, here we are. You see that ridge starting to actually let me move this over to the European. So you see that ridge starting to build as you see a little bit into tomorrow, but we have a warm front coming through Sunday morning. That could touch off a possible shower or thunderstorm, and then there you go. And you see that southwest flow around the high. Almost looks kind of like a westerly flow on Sunday, and that is going to stick with us for much of this week and bring us some pretty incredible heat numbers. I think we'll have big temperature anomalies. Go to the temperature anomaly chart here. You'll see the heat really crank up. Here, those bright reds. It looks like Tuesday could wind up being the worst day. Wednesday gets a little less intense, but again, this is a pretty intense ridge. There's going to be plenty of humidity too with this. So this air is coming from the Gulf, so we're going to have high humidity as well. And again, we're going to be dealing with this again for much of this week. So it's going to be a hot week. Definitely going to have a heat wave with at least 3 90-degree days, 90-plus degree days in a row. So let's first start with the short range here. And got the dew points up and dew points in the wind flow. So we start off with the west winds tomorrow, and then the light west wind. The dew points are still low, and then they kind of shift to the south a little later. So it should hopefully cool off on the south shore tomorrow because it was hot on the south shore today. Not humid, but still hot. And then we have the southwesterly winds overnight, and then you see that warm front come in on Sunday. There's those dew points jumping up into the low 70s, and a west-southwest wind. And that hopefully will provide enough cooling for the south shore, but combined with the air temperature, it's going to feel very, very hot. So as far as we go into tomorrow, temperatures tonight probably won't drop much below the low 60s. And then for tomorrow, it's going to be pretty warm. Warmer than today, I think. If you're inland, it could already be close to 90 in Tom's River. 85 to 90. And upper 80s across much of Long Island for highs. And then the sea breeze will cool things off later in the afternoon. And then temperatures don't drop tomorrow night, staying in the 70s. And then that sets the stage for a hot day on Sunday. And it looks like a lot of Long Island is going to reach 90 or better. Along with Jersey, unless you're out in Suffolk County or you're right at the shore. So Sunday is the first day that this heat is gonna kick in. All right. If we want to, we'll look at the radar simulation next because again, there are some chances for showers and thunderstorms with this front. So it's again showing a stray sprinkle tomorrow. I don't think anything happens. But it's overnight, that warm front. When that warm front comes through, it could bring some showers and thunderstorms through. I know you see this coming from the north, but that's a warm front, actually. So it could be some showers, maybe some thunderstorms. I don't think it'll be severe. And then once that moves away, the sun returns Sunday, and then it's actually still having some hang on over the east end. So it looks like that warm front might hang up a little bit over there. But that's what it's looking like right now. Wouldn't be a whole lot of rain with this. Yeah, most of the heavy stuff is well to the north with this warm front that we have coming through. So I'm going to shift things over to the European. We go a little bit further here and look at the dew points and wind flow here. Some of the other models, so you can see what happens Sunday. And then Monday, it's going to really get oppressive because the winds go west and then northwest. And look what happens, though. The European is trying to bring a backdoor cold front through, perhaps, over at least eastern Long Island. That would help drop the temperatures a little bit because the winds swing around to the east and southeast. So that would bring a little more relief, at least over Long Island. But where these two meet, that could be a convergence zone for some thunderstorm activity. Monday might be a little cooler on Long Island than Sunday, but then we're right back into it on Tuesday, and we have a killer west wind, it looks like. So no sea breeze, or not much of a sea breeze on Tuesday. That is going to mean a lot of areas are going to get very, very hot. And then Wednesday, where the winds, again, swift a little more to the east again, so that could mean maybe a little bit cooler along the coast on Wednesday. These are the dew points, all right? Now look at the actual air temperatures. Now, again, for Sunday, it's pretty much it's agreement that I think most of Long Island west of the Sagatos is going to go above 90 east. Maybe there'll be some clouds hanging on, keep things a little cooler. And then Monday, we have a big temperature difference where it could be well into the 90s, possibly approaching 100 in Jersey. And then if you're in Suffolk, you may only be in the upper 70s and low 80s, perhaps. And then here we go for Tuesday. Sets the stage. Tuesday is going to be absolutely brutal, and with no sea breeze, I think it's going to be 95 to 100 in everywhere. I think including Suffolk County, I would push that out a little more. So it's going to be pretty hot, and then on Wednesday, the heat kind of backs off a little bit. So Tuesday is the worst day of this heat wave. Just giving you, we're going to talk about this heat wave plenty, but that looks like the worst day of it. Now, do we have a Cape thing? Does this give us? I don't think this gives us the Cape crossover thing. It does not. But we will look at the precipitation and see if it actually does generate anything. Along that front. No, it doesn't. But if there's a backdoor front, that could try to trigger something. So we'll have to see. All right, RGEM, the skies. Let's go talk about that. Obviously, for tomorrow, we may start off with some clouds, but then it should become mostly sunny, though. Maybe some scattered jet chunk. Then some more clouds kind of pop up in the afternoon again. And then as you get into Sunday, it could be some jet chunk around, some haze, and then the sun will come out. And then we'll have plenty of sun, obviously. Monday, that sunshine really won't be an issue. Now, I'm kind of curious. Let me go to the GFS for a moment and see if the GFS has that backdoor front there or it doesn't. Kind of curious if it does the same thing. Yeah, but it doesn't get it as close. So it's very interesting. So we're going to have to see about that for Monday and see what happens. But you definitely be starting to feel it on Sunday. That's for sure, right? I'm just going to go to the NAM and look at the precip. Let's see if nothing really happens tomorrow. All right, so this is what could hit us Sunday. You can see it's not really, the warm front really doesn't have a whole lot of precipitation forming along it, so I wouldn't be too concerned. I know the Storm Prediction Center did have some kind of risk, I think, for marginal risk for Sunday. So, and even day 2, even tomorrow, it's got a little bit of a risk too, just to our north and west. So I'll have to see what could develop. We'll have to see what could develop. Right now, none of the models are really being too bullish on it. HDRPS. Let's see, we got the HDRPS here. Anything? That warm front really not showing much of anything. So, whatever the case is, get ready for the heat. Things going to be heating up. I think that pretty much has everything covered. Maybe another video tomorrow night, considering the heat that we're going to be dealing with on the Sunday could be pretty brutal. It's going to be it all depends on the wind direction too, how brutal it's going to get. So I think that's all. Have a good night, and it's going to be brutal. So spend one more day outside if you can tomorrow. It will be somewhat tolerable, and then we start really cranking up the heat as we get into Sunday. And the humidity. It's going to be pretty brutal out there. So have a good night.